The Chicago Bears tell the NFL they've narrowed their search for a new stadium. While Illinois lawmakers debate a final offer to the team, leaders in Indiana anxiously await answers about the fate of their proposed site. Tonight we get to the point.
From Chicago's very own, with WGN political editor Tamon Bradley, this is The Point.
Good evening. Among those paying close attention to the Illinois Senate, officials in Indiana. Can Springfield get the Bears mega projects bill across the finish line? Top lawmakers say they're going to take their time. They've got about 30 days to act. If they don't pass a bill that the Bears want, Indiana is ready to build the franchise a new stadium. It would be right across the border in Hammond, just a short drive from Chicago, as Mayor Thomas McDermott points out. You know, the Bears gave the NFL an update. It's between Hammond, Indiana and Arlington Heights. What do you know about what the Bears told the league?
I don't know I wasn't in that room. Obviously, it's between the Bears and the NFL, but it's bittersweet. I'm a Bears fan, like most of the people in Northwest Indiana. So it's bittersweet to know that the Bears will be moving away from Soldier Field. I think that's something everybody in the Chicagoland area can agree upon. But if they are going to move away from Soldier Field, which apparently they are, I hope that they move to Northwest Indiana at the Wolf Lake location. I think that's the best location, closest to the Bear fans, the blue-collar Bears fans that make this team thrive and love this team.
Let's talk about that site. Like, what makes it special? What can Wolf Lake offer?
It's close to Chicago. Literally, from downtown Chicago, you could be at Wolf Lake in 20-plus minutes, without traffic. I've ridden my bike from Wolf Lake to Chicago many times. I'm 57 years old. So it's totally doable. We have public transportation to that area, great access to highways, and the business climate of Indiana, with all due respect to my friends in Illinois, the business climate in Indiana will save the Bears billions of dollars if they choose that location. And so for business purposes, I know that's important to the Chicago Bears.
What are you hearing about what comes next in this process?
Well, I think everybody realizes that the Bears aren't going to make a decision until the legislature in Illinois wraps up. So we're watching the Illinois Senate. Everybody in the entire Chicagoland area is watching the Illinois Senate right now to see if they take the Bears bill and make the changes that the Bears need if they're going to stay in Illinois. And if the Illinois Senate doesn't make those changes, and if the Illinois governor can't get it together, I think the Bears are coming to Indiana. And I think that's great, personally.
And the legislature here in Illinois has until the end of the month, May 31st is their deadline. And so you're saying that it seems like the Bears will give them that time. I know the Bears wanted them to move quickly. Governor Pritzker wanted the lawmakers to act quickly. But the Bears they want to see what the Senate does.
Listen, I want the Bears to say we're moving to Hammond today, personally. But I think if I was in, Mr. McCaskey's position, Mr. Warren's position, I think I would want to see two offers and compare them before I made a significant decision like that. So the business person in me understands where they're coming from. And I'm real confident in the offer Indiana put forward. I think it's a great offer. I know it's going to save the Bears billions of dollars over the life of that stadium. So I feel very secure that we're in as good a position as we could be in. I think if the Bears don't choose Indiana and they move to Arlington Heights, it was not a financial decision. It was a nostalgic decision.
Yeah, the rivalry is really fun right now on some levels, although maybe not for the people involved. Governor Pritzker says that if the Bears move to Hammond, they need to be called the Hammond Hams.
Yeah,
what did you make of that?
I was thinking Hammond eggs would be funnier.
Did you like that, or did you see that as him throwing a little elbow?
No, I don't mind. What's funny is I respect J.B. Pritzker. He was one of the guys I was definitely going to consider before all this started, when he said he was running for president. I like him personally. I don't like the way he's disparaging my city. And the only reason he's doing it is because he knows it's a serious threat. So I do, in a little way, I'm sort of proud that he's attacking Hammond, because he knows that Hammond's a threat right now to take the Chicago Bears and make it their next home stadium.
So you're saying that if he decides to run for president, he's not going to have your support?
He lost my vote. Can't attack Hammond like that and expect me to support him for president. So I'm sure he understands.
As you sort of alluded to, you think that you have the best offer on the table, and that probably is true, given that there's public funding, $1 billion package. People that examine these deals say that it just never turns out good to the taxpayers. Why do you think this deal is different?
I guess it depends on your perspective, to be honest with you. I think that for Hammond, it's a game changer, but maybe it's less of an impact on Indiana as a whole if you're looking at Indiana, the state. But I tell you, if we put the next Soldier Field in Hammond, Indiana, I know for a fact it's going to result in billions of dollars of new investment in Hammond. So it really depends on your perspective, I guess. I think in Hammond, it's going to make a big difference, but maybe in the overall scheme of things for the state of Indiana, maybe it doesn't have much of a blip. But I think in Hammond, it's going to be a game changer.
Why are you so sure that you're not being used as leverage for the Bears to get a better deal from Illinois?
I mean, we could be being used, being honest. I mean, but what are we supposed to do when you're approached by a world-class organization like the Chicago Bears and they're spending millions of dollars analyzing your city to make it possibly their next home? I mean, if they're using us, they're spending millions of dollars while they're doing it. And quite frankly, my job is to attract economic development. And this is one of the best companies in the entire Chicagoland area that's looking at my city. So I have a job to do, and that's what I'm doing. And if we're getting played, I guess we'll all find out in about a month. But right now, I'm just being the mayor, trying to close deals. And this is the deal of a lifetime for Hammond, Indiana.
To your point, the powerful NFL franchise worth billions. I mean, they could just foot the bill for the entire project and just choose Wolf Lake because Lost Marsh is a great golf course and it's a great area, right? I mean, why not just make them pay for it themselves?
Well, I mean, the fact is, they're a desired company, and if they said, "Hey, I'm looking in Iowa right now at cities in Iowa," I guarantee you, there's be cities and towns in Iowa tripping all over each other to try to put the best deal forward to attract the Chicago Bears. So I think they're just a marketable company, and the Bears, in my opinion, think that if they're playing in Arlington Heights or in Northwest Indiana, they're still going to attract the same Bears fans. And it's just like the Kansas City Chiefs are moving to Missouri, just like the San Francisco 49ers moved to Santa Clara, just like the Jets and the Giants moved to New Jersey. This isn't any different than that, and those fans still go to the games. So I think the Bears are keeping a long-term perspective on it, in my opinion.
Let's take a step back because I'm just curious, when you learned that you might be able to make a serious push to get the Chicago Bears to move to Hammond?
It was, let's just say, the holidays. So I don't want to be specific, but let's just say it was the holidays.
The holidays. So they reached out to you. They were looking for more options, and then you were ready to go. How did that work?
The state of Indiana contacted me and said they made us sign non-disclosure agreements. And they said, we have a big company that's looking at Hammond, Indiana, and we want to make sure, first off, you sign these non-disclosure agreements. And secondly, we want to talk to you and make sure this works for you all too. And it took us about a week to realize we were talking about the Chicago Bears. And I don't know, you go through a range of emotions when you find out. I went through the emotions of this can't be real. I did that for a while. And then I got really excited. And then I realized this is a roller coaster and I have a job to do. And if I'm on this emotional roller coaster, I won't be able to do my job. So I've been trying to keep perspective on the whole thing, not get too excited, not get too down. But it's been quite a ride since the holidays going through this process.
Yeah, it's very exciting. And it seems like we're in the fourth quarter. All right, so the NFL's quarterly meeting begins May 19th in Orlando. Do you think a deal will be done by then, that the Bears will have selected their next stadium site?
No, I do not. By May 19th, you're saying?
By May 19th, that's right. There's a big meeting. The NFL owners all get together.
I hope they do, but I don't think it's going to be done by then. I think it's going to be the end of May when the Illinois legislature wraps up, that we'll know for sure that what Illinois' bill contains. And if Illinois' bill falls apart, I think we'll know that day. But if something happens before that day, let's say it falls apart in the Illinois legislature, I think it's going to be apparent at that point that there's only one offer on the table. And there's only one offer on the table right now, and that offer's from the state of Indiana, making Hammond, Indiana, the home of the next Bears. So I feel real good about where we are currently. But like you said, it's the fourth quarter, and the Illinois legislature has the ball right now. So we'll see what happens.
We're back in 60 seconds. The Illinois Accountability Commission has wrapped up its work. Governor J.B. Pritzker's hand-picked panel was tasked with creating a public record of misconduct during Operation Midway Blitz. But what consequences federal agents will face remains to be seen. Cook County State's Attorney Eileen O'Neill Burke says her office cannot bring charges until law enforcement completes their own investigation. Today, the commission chairman had choice words for the county's top prosecutor.
So if the state's attorney wants to look at this for a year, that's up to her. But to say that she's not going to look at it at all, that she's not going to investigate it at all I hear, again, in my opinion, are a bunch of excuses. She comes back to, well, no one has stepped forward and said they're a victim and complain. Well, Mr. Villegas-Gonzalez is not in a position to complain. He's dead. And Ms. Martinez has complained plenty. And she came before us on Tuesday and says she wants accountability. I don't think it could be plainer than that.
The commission's report was given to police in Chicago, Evanston, Elgin, and Franklin Park. Tonight, a tip of the hat to King Charles. Here in America this week as a special guest of the White House, he addressed Congress, attended a state dinner, and took care of business for adults back in the UK. Word from President Trump that the U.S. will remove tariffs on Scotch whiskey in celebration of the King and Queen's visit. And that is the point. I'm Tamon Bradley. More news tonight at 9. Don't forget about the forecasters up next on WGN+. Good night.